If you're going to be trail building and you're going to put in that time and energy, because it's a shit ton of time and it's a shit ton of energy, you might as well do it right. Hi, hello, and welcome to reasons why perhaps you shouldn't build a trail, or things that you must do if you're thinking about building a trail. I know I talked a little bit about in another video about the reasons why trail building makes you happy, and certainly that is definitely one of the reasons why you should be thinking about becoming a trail builder. But just because you're building trail doesn't mean you're actually making the world a better place. And by that I mean the world already has a shit ton of poorly built, terribly thought out trails that are not sustainable, that have no creativity, and we don't need any more of them. So don't be that kind of builder. I think you need to ask yourself before you head out the door, do you have the skills? Do you have the tools? Do you have the experience? Do you have a good vision of what it is you're trying to achieve? Have you thought about the larger picture? So here are the reasons why, if you're not doing them, you shouldn't be building a trail. The first question that you should be asking yourself is, do you have the technical expertise to do it? Do you have the know-how? Again, there are a lot of people that just go out there and figure it out as they go. I believe the expression is building the plane as it's in the air. It's just a good idea to have some basic understandings of, what tools to use and why, grade reversals, soil type, how to bench cut. There's a whole bunch of techniques that you really need to know before heading out. Go out with your friends that are trail builders and learn from them. Basically have a bit of a mentorship or apprenticeship happening there. Ask a lot of questions. Ask them why they're doing things, how they're doing it, how they discovered to do it that way. I think really the discovery allows you to understand why not to do it a different way. Of course, the internet, it's a thing. There's all sorts of resources online. And I think you'll get a lot of different points of view on the internet, just like you will here. I am not the Gandalf of trail building. I'm just a guy who's been doing it. And so my opinion will differ from others. And my guess is that varying opinions will probably give you a better foundation. Do you have permission? Not just from landowners, although I highly recommend it. If it's possible to get permission from landowners, it'll probably save you some sorrow down the road, but also from the trail building community. There's a code for trail building, and certainly one of those rules is, do not build on someone else's trail without their permission. But the same thing with areas. There may be an area that's like a do not build area. The city of Toronto, where I spend a lot of my time, has some areas that they consider to be environmentally sensitive areas, and they don't want any building there. And the moment you go in there, they're going to rip them out. And then there are other areas that are just conducive to different activities. There's an archery range here in Toronto, and I wouldn't recommend building a trail behind the archery range, even though there's lots of space. I'm sure you don't want to find out the hard way that there wasn't enough space. So just asking around about the area, talking to other trail builders, other trail users about the area that you're thinking about building. And I think you have to be discreet about this. It's not something you want to post on social and be like, hey, I'm thinking about building there, because that's just going to open up a whole different can of worms. But permission is an important thing, not just from landowners, but from the community as well. So please get it before you start. What is the purpose? What is the vision of your trail? The world doesn't need more ill thought out, poorly planned trails. We've got enough of those. We ride them every day, and we know them because we don't remember them. What role is your trail going to have in the larger system? Does it have a purpose? Does your feature that you're planning on building belong on that trail? If it's a beginner trail and you're now putting in a serious barrier in the middle of it, a skinny or something that has high consequences that you can't ride around, perhaps it's not the best place to be building that. but also just the trail itself. You know, what is its purpose? Is it a connector? Is it like an old school tech trail? Is it a new school flow trail? Is it, you know, there for skills? Is it there for thrills? You know, these are really important questions to be asking yourself. How is your trail going to fit into the larger network? Because, you know, you've got to be thinking about, people aren't going out and just riding one trail. At least here in Toronto, usually you ride a couple dozen smaller segments, maybe a dozen trails on a ride. And, you know, you want to be thinking about how your trail fits into that. Does it take you from A to B, and how does it do it? Again, that's like the purpose, the vision, and that is the expressive part of trail building. And again, I think it's the most important part, and I think it's the part that's going to give not just you, but all trail users the most amount of joy. So give that some serious thought before heading out. It will, you know, you will reap the rewards when you are done in many, many different ways. It's pretty cool when you do something that everybody else goes, oh, now I get how this connects, or this is super fun, and now I can work on my left hip or my right hip, or whatever it is that, you know, you're kind of building for. It really benefits people other than just riding their bike, which of course any trail can do. The other argument I've heard is, you know, I'll come across a trail that's recently been built by people, and I'll be like, I don't really like this trail. And the usual answer from most people is, hey, more trails better, right? And I'm not sure that's the right answer. I think that's pretty short-sighted. When you're thinking about that trail that you're putting in, could it be replaced by something better? Could have it been better when you were originally thinking about it? Because by putting in that trail, you kind of like veto anybody else putting a trail in that area, hopefully. Another you know, code thing is don't build a trail right beside another trail. That's just shitty. But basically, by you putting in a trail, you now are saying that another trail can't go in. So if it's not a well thought out trail, you're basically, you know, shitting the bed where something much better could be built. So the last thing I want to say about vision and purpose, if you don't have it, I don't think you're ready, and I don't think you should build. Talk to fellow trail builders, talk about, you know, maybe if you're struggling with it, for inspiration. You know, collaboration is a great way to build an idea and make it better. So I suggest doing that. The land, it's been sitting there a long time without a trail on it. You don't need to rush it. Take the time so that when you're finally ready to go, that piece of land that's been sitting there the whole time, you know, is ready for you, and you're ready for it. And that's really key. So be a good trail builder. This is what my challenge to you is: spend the time, do the right thing, build the most beautiful trail, the most creative trail that you can think of. Don't try and push and rush through the woods. You know, you've got time. You've always got time building. So that's my challenge. Maybe you agree or disagree. Please let me know in the comments. You know, be sure to check out the other videos that I'm posting up. And if there is something that you would like to see that you don't see yet, please hit me up in the comments and I'll do my best to address it. Thanks for watching.